Hey guys, it's PainUser here with my good friend Syckness, and we are bringing you another replay analysis. I know it's been a long while, we've been busy doing stuff, but we are going to have weekly analysis coming up on the YouTube for you guys. And this right here, well, first off, let me introduce Syckness. He's a buddy of mine, he's a Zerg player, so I'll let him say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is a good replay we have here from the PL Invitational, I believe.
Indeed. It's a game between Mondragon and EmpireKas. And Mondragon is like a really old school Zerg Brood War player who I used to watch replays of way back in the day. Like back when I was first starting out and playing Brood War, he used to be one of the top players, or one of the top foreigners, not one of the top players. And then EmpireKas is a Terran player who has recently put in a lot of time. I think he's put in over 2,000 ladder games, and he has roughly a 60% win ratio, which is really nice, especially if you put that many games in, and on the Euro server, which is considered by a lot of people to be like more competitive at the at the top level. So anyway, we're gonna kind of switch off back and forth between the two POVs and talk about what each player is doing. My friend Syckness from the Zerg perspective, and me from the Taran perspective. So hopefully that'll give you guys a little bit of extra insight as to what these players are doing and what we think is good and what we think is bad. So here's the replay, and we'll go ahead and get started. Right now I'm on the Zerg's POV, so we'll start with that.
Well, looks like he's just doing a standard 15 hatch into pool. You know, against Terran nowadays, I feel like this is pretty much the standard. Should be getting a pool and gas pretty soon here. Yeah, there it is.
Especially on this map, right?
Yeah, on this map even more so. You have to deal with less early aggression in general. So it's more of a macro map here.
Right now, both the players are talking about what they've been up to, I guess. And Mondragon doesn't feel like he's ready to compete in the top level of Starcraft 2 yet, which I find interesting because he's been playing RTS games forever. But I know Starcraft 2 is a different game. And the Terran player right now he just did a standard 12 racks, and he got 2 early depots up at the bottom of his ramp, followed by a command center on the high ground. And a couple of reasons why this is really good is it gives you a frontal wall at the bottom of your ramp. So later on in the game, you can actually wall up on the top of the ramp, and that creates 2 walls. So if a Zerg player does some kind of fast expand into quick gas, gets a baneling nest, and just starts pumping tons of banelings and massing them outside your natural, if you scout that and you see it coming, you can drop an additional barracks and a supply depot right here, or you can just drop 2 supply depots and double wall, pull your marines behind the second wall, or leave a few in the middle and then a few behind, and it makes it almost impossible for him to break through that unless he wants to waste like 30 banelings, and it also denies him the scout of the command center on the high ground. So this is a build that I don't do nearly enough, that I'm probably going to start doing a lot more.
Yeah, it gives you 2 lines of 2 walls pretty much, and it denies any scout of just up top and an overlord. So I mean, there's really no reason that you wouldn't want to do this most of the time.
Taran adding double gas after he gets the second racks up, throwing down a tech lab on that second racks. I like this. This is going to allow him to get early stim, early combat shields, and he's going to be able to tech up to his factory, which he just dropped, much quicker, and it's going to allow him to get out early siege tanks. And generally, Marine tank is not a bad early game competition or composition against Zerg at all. It's really good for dealing with speedling baneling, so, and I'd assume that's what Mondragon's going to be up to.
Yeah, from the looks of it, he's got speed coming, and there's the baneling nest, so it's pretty typical. He's got the baneling nest before the layers for extra safety. And yeah, now it looks like he's just pumping drones, getting his econ up, and just trying to macro right now.
Also spreading a little bit of creep. Doesn't have a tumor going between his main and his natural yet. Just coming out of his natural. Also getting, like, was this an early layer?
That's a pretty standard timing on layer, especially against a Terran that takes a fast expand like that.
Do you like getting your layer first, or do you like getting your baneling nest?
Well, baneling nest early is a little bit more safe. I mean, if you really want to get that early tech, though, you can do a layer first, but that's only if you really know that you're not going to get pressured. And, you know, a Baneling Nest really isn't that expensive anyway, so most of the time it's probably a better call just to go ahead and get the Baneling Nest before layer. So, you know, it's only 50 gas.
Now, Kas is upgrading Weapons 1, Siege, Stim. He's got a lot of really good tech options going right now. And this build allowed him to safely and really early on take his natural. Almost, I mean, slightly behind the Zerg, but still, he took his second real quick. And he's teching up now. And it looks like, actually, the Zerg is dropping his third.
Yeah, Zerg's taking his third. Might be a little bit early, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I mean, he's got a scout outside his base. He doesn't see too much pressure going. He's got a good creep spread, which is also great. He's just working that into his macro, just spreading the creep every, you know, however often. And it looks like he's going into scout with his overseer, so he's going to try to get a good idea of what Terran's doing. But nowadays, well, he sees this army moving out now, so I like how he's got bro and Baneling speed already coming. And it looks like he's still ahead in drones, and his third base is going. So the Zerg's looking like he's in a good place right now. He's got Banelings ready for this. This attack's not going to be anything that's going to be too devastating. Just going to come down to how much he loses here, really.
I'm actually really surprised that Kas is pushing out just with a single siege tank, and before combat shield is finished. I guess it's going to finish relatively soon here, as is weapons 1. But this is a really early timing push from Kas. It's super risky because well, it really depends on the player that you're playing against, but some Zerg players will pump units in a situation where you think that they're pumping drones, and they'll come in, they'll be able to crush you, but it looks like Kas not
going anyway. Ooh, and no micro away from those Banelings right there. And, maybe not, he probably could have maybe saved a few, but I don't know. With Baneling speed, it's a lot harder to micro, especially if you have that small amount of range. Shell the Banelings, but
luckily he had some reinforcements and more for some other Banelings, and he's able to clean up that early aggressive push. But Kas really, he's got pretty good macro going here. He's spending his money pretty well. He's adding an armory. He's already added several more barracks. No second factory yet, so he's content to just pump tanks off of a single factory. There's a second factory as natural. So he's going to start pumping tanks off 2 facts. He'll probably want to get his 4th gas when he starts pumping double tanks. And he's also lining his base with missile turrets in all the key locations. And he's also getting a second armory here. So it looks like he's going to start getting vehicle weapons and armor, I think. So maybe transitioning into a mid-late game kind of mech switch.
Yeah, and the Zerg's got 2 Evos going now. He's started with 2 upgrades for his ground units. And the Spire's coming out too. This is all pretty standard. His third base, I guess, he's probably starting to saturate that right now with these drones that he's making. Yeah, here they come.
Wow.
The drone count's even, though. So this is a little concerning for the Zerg. I saw that he was morphing a lot of Banelings earlier, right after he defended that attack, which is maybe a little bit too early, but it looks like he wants to just have a minefield for this Terran.
And one thing I really like about what Kas is doing here is he really takes his time on moving out. A lot of players would be, you know, hard-pressed not to just move right through the mid like this. And these are really good spots for Burrowed Banelings, but dropping these turrets. It's like he
knows almost, yeah. So it's another safe play that you can do. It's only 100 minerals. And so, yeah, their Mondragon sees he has to fall back.
Trying to salvage this last fallback point, but yeah, I think Kas is hip to his game at this point. He's all over the Burrowed Banelings.
He sees that it's there, so now it's going to be, he doesn't have the surprise factor anymore. And it looks like he's actually fallen behind in drones now, so maybe he pumped an army a little bit too soon here. It's kind of what it's looking like, but you know, this is still a very close game. You know, it could go either way. He's taking his 4th now, which is nice. I like that.
Yeah, one thing that and forgetting to detonate
wow,
those
that's huge.
3 Banelings. That would have been
huge.
Tremendous.
That could have killed almost all of those Marines right there. So let's see what he does with this.
I like stimming just a few of your Marines to send them ahead of the pack and kill a few creep tumors here.
That's, get a little scout.
Yeah, a little scout in as well, and then you don't burn a stim on your entire army. One thing I would have loved to have seen from Mondragon.
Here it comes. I don't know.
Great spread on the Marines.
That's a good spread. That's a good spread. I don't think Mondragon should have gone in there. He wasn't being pressured too hard. He should have let him unsiege those tanks. Maybe try to hit him when he was moving up with those tanks. But
yeah,
I mean, he just didn't have enough to just completely crush that army with an A move. And with the micro that the Terran has, he's just able to shut down those amount of banelings with those tanks.
One thing I would have loved to see from Mondragon that I almost think is essential against a Terran like this, especially on a good map, is you really need a much bigger pack of mutas, and you need to be harassing all over the main, the natural. Like, EmpireKas built all these turrets, and it was all for naught. Like, he was ready for the mutas, but they never even came. And the only reason Terran players at the high level build turrets everywhere is because a giant pack of mutas is just that annoying. Like, they can do so much damage. And Mondragon might clean this up, but
at what cost? He lost his second. You know, it's not looking too good for Mondragon. I think one of the big things that is one of the reasons why he didn't have so many mutas is because right after he crushed that first attack pretty well, he just morphed another almost 20 banelings. So it's going to cut the muta production down a lot. If you crush an attack, you know, just chill on lings for a bit, then start pumping your mutas, and then get the banelings right before he attacks, right when you need them.
Ooh, and it looks like Cass actually threw in Blue Flame Hellions. I don't know at which point he started upgrading those or producing them. He also threw in a Thor. He's just running for dear life with his Marines right now.
And it's doable if you have a tank there at Stim. So that was good micro by the Terran.
Yeah, that was really impressive. He didn't lose a single pack of Marines right now.
Yeah, maybe lost one or two, but
yeah,
that was nice. It's a nice little pullback. Only one tank showing those bands.
And even though Mondragon has his third and fourth up and running at this point, he really can't.
He has no army.
Them. Yeah, he has no army.
He wasted all his army trying to crush that last attack, and it just wasn't working out for him.
Yep, and that's GG. So I hope you guys enjoyed the dual cast. Just post in the comments on the videos if anything you guys want to see in the future, anything you guys liked, didn't like, and we'll try and make them better in the future. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Enjoy.